First problem says, Raquel has 250 candies, which she will divide evenly among 5 bags. How many candies will be in each bag? Now this is a straight division problem. We know it is because it says right here, she will divide evenly. That's what division is. So in your mind, you already know that you have to take the 250 candies and divide it among 5 bags. We know that. But let's write it down as a little table thing and let's understand it. What the problem is basically saying is that we have 250, if I can write 250 correctly, candies, right? And then when you draw this line under it, it means per, right? 250 candies per 5 bags. So what it's basically telling you is for every 5 bags, you're going to have 250 candies. So if it's 250 candies per bag, it would be one bag would have that many candies. But it's per 5 bags because for every 5 bags that I get, I know I'm going to have 250 candies. So it's 250 candies per or for every 5 bags. So we don't have a line here or anything. This is even a simpler problem, but we know we have to divide these numbers because we have 250 on the top and a 5 on the bottom. And once we do this division, what will be the units of the answer? The units will be candies per bag. This line means per, candies per bag. What does the problem say? How many candies will be in each bag? So you read the problem, you know you want an answer of candies per bag. So you arrange it in such a way that there's nothing that cancels here. Candies do not cancel with bags. I mean, they're not the same thing. But when you calculate it, the answer you get will be candies per bag. And we have to divide because of the numbers that are here. So let's take the number 250 and let's divide it evenly among the 5 bags. We have to do that division. So we can't divide into 2, so let's consider 25. 5 times something is 25. Of course, it's going to be 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract, get a 0. Drag down the next number, which is a 0. 5 times something is 0. The only thing that works is a 0. We multiply, we get a 0. Subtract, we get a 0. Grab the next digit, but there is no next digit. So what do we get as an answer? When we take 250 and we divide by 5, we get an answer of 50. 50 what? 50 candies per bag. When I write it with a bar like this, bar means per, literally the word per, P-E-R, candies per bag. When you start looking at units like that, I want you to start thinking of it, you know, like miles per hour or meters per second has the slash. The slash or the division there means per, meters per second, kilograms per whatever. You can make units up. There's many, many, many units we'll learn later, but right now we're talking about candies per bag, and we know we have to divide because of the way we set it up. All right, next problem. And this one will be a little bit more similar to what we've seen in the past. A school has 2,630 students and will divide the students into classrooms of 25 students each. How many full classrooms will there be? How many students will be left over in the last classroom? So there's 2 questions here. It says, how many full classrooms will we have? And then the next one says, how many students will be left over? You see that word left over? Remember, we talked about dividing. The remainder is whatever is left over after you try to distribute and divide evenly there. So what we're going to do in our mind is take the 2,630 students and we're going to divide it into groups of 25. So we want to see how many groups of 25 we have. We're going to divide by 25. That's what makes sense. But let's write it down and look at the units here because it can tell us a lot. We have in the problem statement 2,630 students. All right, and then I'm going to draw my horizontal line and I'm going to draw my vertical line. And then the next thing it says, it would divide it into classrooms of 25 students each. What does that mean? 25 students each. It means 25 students per classroom. It's like a conversion factor between students, 25 students for every 1 classroom. So it's students per classroom. So we have to write it as 25 students on the bottom for every 1 classroom. Why did we write it like this? We could have flipped it over with classroom on the bottom and student on the top, but if we did that, nothing would cancel. This is the only way the students cancel, you see? And now you know that you have to divide because you have this on the top and this on the bottom. We do have to multiply by 1, but as before, multiplying or dividing by 1 does nothing. So again, we could flip it over, but if classroom were on the bottom, nothing would cancel and we wouldn't have the right units. The question says, How many full classrooms will there be? The answer we're going to be is how many classrooms we have. So we're going to take this number, we're going to multiply by 1, which does nothing, and then we'll divide by the 25. So even if you're confused what to do, if you don't know, then all you have to do is make the units work to give you what you're trying to get, and then the problem will tell you what to do, right? And as you get into more complicated math, this method can help you solve really, really, really complicated problems. So let's take 2,630 and we'll divide by 25. All right, we can't go into 2, but we can go into 26. It has to be a 1 here because 1 times 25 is 25. That's as close as I can possibly get. Subtract and I'll just get a 1. And after I subtract, I just drag the next number down. So the next question I have is 25 times something is 13. Of course, it can't even go 1 time. That would be too big already, 25. So it has to be 0. Multiply and get a 0. Subtract and you still have a 13. After I subtract this, I grab the next digit and bring it down. Now I have 130. So I know that 25 times 4 is going to give me 100. And so 25 times 5 should be 125. If you're not sure about that, then go off to the side and say, well, what is 25 times 5? 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 5 is 10, 11, 12. 125. So that's as close as I can get to this. And so I'm going to be multiplying by 5, and then I multiply this to get 125, subtract. Now I could borrow and all this stuff, but I know it's 130 minus 125. The only difference there is 5. If I borrow, then it'll be a 10 minus 5, and you'll get a 5. So either way you want to do it, the answer is 5. Grab the next digit, but there is no next digit. So what do I get as an answer? I get 105 remainder of 5. What is this basically telling me? It tells me if I have 2,630 students, I'm trying to divide them into groups of 25. How many groups of 25 students will I have? 105 groupings of 25, but that's what we call a classroom. The unit is classroom. So it'll be 105 full classes, right? Because this is how many groupings I have. And I was dividing students by groupings there, and I had 105 full groups, but I have 5 students left over. 5 students left over that can't make a full class. So I have 5 students left. Another way to say this is 105 full classrooms, and then I just have 5 students left over, which are going to have a smaller class, basically, because a normal class size is 25 students. But the most important thing here is the division. That's true, but also to show you that you can use this to figure out what to do. That is going to serve you for many, many years. I guarantee you that. Okay, problem number 3. There are 516 people going on a field trip, and each bus can carry 45 people. How many full buses will be going on the trip? How many people will be on the last bus? So you know this is a division problem because you have a large group of people, and then you have buses that can carry 45 each. So we need to divide into groups of 45. Each group of 45 will be its own bus. But if I have any leftovers, then those people will just take a bus with fewer people on it, okay? So we have to divide, we know that. But let's write down the units so we can understand. We have 516 people. I'll just put PPL, that means people, right? And then the problem also says each bus can carry 45 people. You have to write it as 45 people for every one bus. It's people per bus. Why do we write it like this instead of flipping it over? Because if we put bus on the bottom, nothing will cancel at all. This is the only way that people cancels with people. What I have left is how many buses. And what it's telling me is I'm dividing these numbers. Of course, I'm multiplying by 1, but that doesn't do anything. So I'm this times 1 divided by this. And so I have to do that division. So I'm going to have 516. I'm going to divide it into groupings of 45. How many groupings am I going to have? Well, going into 51, this can only go 1 time. Multiply, I'll get 45. Now I can do the subtraction by borrowing, but I know it's 45 plus 5 more will be 50, and then going up to 51. So the difference is only 6 here. And you could do the long subtraction with borrowing if you want, but it's easier to just see 5 plus 1 more is 6. After subtracting, grab the next digit, which is a 6, which is 66 there. Now, 45 times something is 66. Now, you can go off to the side and try to multiply by 2, but it's going to be way too big. You know it's going to be at least bigger than 80 because 40 times 2 is 80. So it has to be times 1 again, 45. Subtract. 6 minus 5, 1. 6 minus 4 is 2. And, of course, there's no other digit, so this is the remainder. What do I get here? 11 with a remainder of 21. Now, what does the answer actually mean? The problem says, how many buses, full buses, will be going on the trip? It'll be 11 full buses. 11 full buses. Right? And I have 22 people left over, or 21 people left over that cannot form a full bus because a full bus is a group of 45. So I will have 21 people left over. Last bus. So in other words, I'm going to have 11 full buses, but the last bus will just contain 21 people, which will be a really thin bus. There just won't be very many people on it compared to the other ones, right? All right, we only have a couple more. Let's take a look at the next problem. It says, last year, Maya's farm produced 5,273 pounds of potatoes. If each pallet can hold 110 pounds of potatoes, how many full pallets did the farm produce? How many full pallets? So I know I have to divide because I have a really large amount of potatoes, but every pallet only holds 110. How many groupings of 110 do I have? Because each grouping of 110 is another pallet. So I know I have to divide. But if you're not sure, let's write out the units. I know that it's 5,273. I'm going to put LBS. That means pounds. This is how many pounds of potatoes I have that I've grown on the farm. And then each pallet can hold 110 pounds. So it's 110 pounds per pallet. 110 pounds for every one pallet. I have to write it like this because this is the only way that pounds will be left with pounds, and the unit I have left is pallets. It's saying how many full pallets did the farm produce. The unit that I have left is pallets, and it tells me that I have to divide. Of course, I'm multiplying by 1, but that doesn't do anything. And then I'm dividing these numbers. So even if I don't know what to do, the units will tell you what to do. So here we have to divide these numbers. So let's take 5,273, and we're going to divide it by 110. 110. All right, so can't go into 5, can't go into 52, but I can go into 527. Now this is very close to 100, so it might be, I know it can't be times 1, that's too small. Times 2 will be a little more than 200. Times 3 will be a little bit more than 300. So it's going to be times 4 or times 5, and I'm not sure. So go over to the side, and let's take 110 times 4. Let's just see what it is. 0 times 4 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 440. I'm still not sure, so I'll take it times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 550. That's too big. So it can't be times 5. Has to be times 4, which is, when we multiply, 440. All right, now I'm going to have to do some borrowing for the 2 minus 4, so I'm going to rewrite it. 527 minus 440 here. 7 minus 0 is 7. I'll borrow, make this a 12, make this a 4. So 12 going down, 11, 10, 9, 8 means an 8 goes here, and then this is a 0. So what actually happens is, when I subtract these, I get 87 as a leftover. And then I grab the next digit, which is a 3, 873. So 110 times something is 873. I don't really know what the answer is, but let's just try times 7. 110 times 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 770. I'm still not sure, so let's try times 8. 110 times 8. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 880, that's too big, so it has to be times 7. 7 goes here, multiply, we get 770. 3 minus 0 is 3. 7 minus 7 is 0, and 8 minus 7 is 1. We have 103. So what do we have here? What we have is an answer of 47 with a remainder of 103. And this, we're talking about pallets. So the question says, how many full pallets will we have? Well, if we take this many pounds of potatoes and we divide it into groupings of 110 pounds, we have 47 full groupings. That's 47 full pallets. 47 full pallets of potatoes. And we have 103, essentially 103 pounds left over. And that doesn't quite form another full pallet because a full pallet is 110. So this is basically what I would do is I'd package that up as another pallet, but it doesn't quite make another full pallet. The problem wanted full pallets. The answer is 47 full pallets. All right, last problem. It says a bottle of cough syrup contains 125 milliliters of cough syrup. If each dose is 5 milliliters, how many doses are in the bottle? So you know you have to divide because you have a large amount of something, 125 milliliters, and then each dose is a tiny amount, 5 milliliters. So let's see how many groupings of 5 milliliters we have in the bottle. To do that, we divide by 5. But if you're not sure, and it's totally okay to not be sure, then let's write down the units. We know that this bottle has 125 milliliters of liquid in it. ml means milliliters. That's the volume. Okay, we know that each dose is 5 milliliters. The one other way to say that is 5 milliliters per dose. We have to write it like this: 5 milliliters for every 1 dose. Why do we write it like this? Why don't we put dose on the bottom? Because if we put dose on the bottom, nothing will cancel. But this is the only way the milliliters cancel, and the answer we get out is how many doses. The question wants to know how many doses. So take the 125 times the 1. Divide by 5. So 125 divide by 5. We're trying to see how many times can it go into 12. 5 times 2 is 10. That's as close as I can get. And when you subtract, you get a 2. Drag the next digit down. You have 5 times what is 25? 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract, get a 0, and there's no other digit, so the remainder is 0. So the answer is 25. When we take this and divide, how many groupings of 5 milliliters do we have? We have 25 of these, which we call doses. Right, so if you grab a bottle from the store with 125 milliliters of liquid in it and you give these doses out, you can expect to actually have 25 doses in the bottle. And there's nothing left over. You should have everything used at the end of the bottle because the remainder was 0 down here. That's what that means. So here we're doing word problems. You know, if I just tell you divide, 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 I mean, you can do it. You can just do it. But I'm also trying to teach you that we can look at the units to figure out what to do, because as the problems get harder, as you go on and learn more things, you're going to find that this will save you. It can save you in so many classes I can't even tell you. So I'm trying to teach you early. I'd like you to solve all of these yourself. Make sure you're getting the right answers. Follow me on to the very last lesson. We will get a little more practice with word problems that require division. Learn anything at mathandscience.com.